Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel eddieinreadingland. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you a review of the Botan Tarot by Miyako M. Okay guys, so before I start showing you some of the cards and going into a little bit more of a review of the cards per se, I want to talk about first how this deck reads, because I had something happen with this deck that has never happened before with any other deck that I have used for client readings. So I'm really happy to report this. It felt like an accomplishment when it happened because it was just so out of the blue and so exciting and new. But I was doing a career reading for one of my clients, and she just wanted to have a little bit more information for an interview that she had for a job that was coming along for her. And from the moment that we started pulling out cards and I started talking to her about what those cards represent, or what those cards were trying to tell her at that point, she asked me for pen and paper so that she could write down what I was telling her, because it was resonating so well with her that she did not want to forget anything that I was telling her so that she could use it for that interview. And again, like I said, this has never happened before with any of the any readings that I've done, and I've done readings for years for clients. Sorry guys. And it had never happened. I was very excited. I was very very happy when it was going on, because it just proved to me, or exacerbated the feeling of, one moment guys, tarot being a tool for self-development and also for aiding yourself and others in whatever area of your life that you need assistance in that moment. So that happened with that tarot. I do have to say this tarot deck is extremely chatty when reading for others, and it is very not very chatty when you're doing daily draws with it, which is weird. For daily draws, the tarot is actually more concerned with a more smoother, more passive, and more uplifting meaning of the card, which is fine, because the deck does tend to make you feel calm and more uplifted without going into toxic positivity, and I love that. One of the reasons why I don't use decks that veer into that territory of toxic positivity is because I want to be uplifted, but I want to be told the whole story. I don't want to look just at one aspect of the issue or the problem. I want to look at everything, and I want to have the information I need, the tools that I require, and how I'm able to move forward from that without feeling all smiles and sunshine, because not everything is all smiles and sunshine, guys. And this deck definitely does that for me, and I'm extremely grateful. I think that this feeling of this deck, this calming, uplifting feeling without going into toxic territory, is more to do with the art of the tarot. It is a very the pips have a very minimal approach, and that lends itself to that sort of energy. And the use of color is also very appropriate, and it's very subtle on some of the pips as well. The majors have they tend to have more detail, and they're way more colorful, or there's more use of color in the depiction of the cards. But the other thing that I noticed with this tarot is that the people, actually all of the beings depicted, because there's also not only people, but there's other animals depicted in the tarot, they feel very calm. They feel very at ease and patient in a way. It's very weird. I'll show you some of the depictions of the cards in just a minute. But yes, so extremely happy about how this deck reads for others. It is not scary for others to experience this deck in readings. Even cards like the Tower and Devil, which we're going to see in a second, are done in such a magnificent way, and they're depicted in a like I said, a smoother or more passive energy for that archetype, that it doesn't scare people. So very grateful for that. This deck is one of the decks that I prefer to use for client readings, or my preferred decks for client readings is decks that I know will not scare people when I'm doing the readings. But talking about that, let's move on to some of the cards I want to show you guys. But let's see. Let me go through cardstock. So we have the linen cardstock. And love that. If you guys riffle shuffle your deck, we will not have a problem riffle shuffling the deck. I stopped doing that because because I want my decks to last me for a very long time, and I only have one copy of the Botan Tarot. I should get another one, and I recommend that everybody does. But the reason why I'm bringing this big old pile here is to show you that it's beautifully edged in this blue indigo color. That it's just so beautiful. Love that. But yeah, and also love the backs. These white peonies. Botan means peony in Japanese. I am so excited that I get to show off my Japanese for this just a tad for this this review. But yes, so these are the beautiful backs. Love those. And I want to go into some of the cards. And the first card that I want to go into is the Teacher. I did mention in my previous video about this deck. I do have a previous video where I have an unboxing and a flip through and commentary of each of the cards as the first time that I got this deck. I was so excited. And I'm still excited to work with this deck because it's just so amazing. Addie did an amazing job. Oh, Addie is the name of the artist, by the way. But yes, I did mention in that first video that this was a shinobi mask, but it's not. It's called a mempo mask. I did confirm with Addie on Instagram what this mask was, because I had doubts, especially after saying that on the video. I was like, it is not called a shinobi mask. And so I asked her what the mask was, and she answered me. She answers on Instagram. She's just so nice. And she also she feels as the tarot feels for me. She feels very calming, a very uplifted person, a very serene sort of person. I don't know. I haven't met her. But at least I know she's friendly because she answers on Instagram, guys. But yes, this is a mempo mask. I'm going to have my husband here put an image of what a real mempo mask looks like. Well, I mean, this is a real mempo, but a live mempo mask looks like. And I'm going to pause for a little while so that my husband can put it over there. Okay. I don't even know if I should be saying something right now, but I'm sure that you guys just saw a mempo mask. Or two. Okay, so moving on. One of my favorite cards from tarots, and you guys know that the Devil is very important to me. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. I am very, very sexually attracted to this Devil. He's very sensual. He's very sexual. But I love this Devil just because of the fact that we have this person not being able to contain the devil inside, and it's just spewing out in different ways from the card. I mean, we see the horns over here. We see this smoke or this aura that's flowing outside of this person because it cannot be contained. And I also love the fact that we have a crown over here on the top of the head of this very beautiful person. But yes, love this devil, love what it represents to me, loves how it makes me feel. Okay, and now we're going to go into the Tower card. Now, the first time that I saw this Tower card, I was a little confused as to why the card was so calming, why it was so serene, why I was feeling this plenitude while looking at this card. And I was just struck by the passivity of the card, because we usually see a destruction scene going on. We usually see that lightning and that storm and just, destruction everywhere, fire, Martian energy. And but reading the scene that Addie wrote for the deck, and I'm gonna go over the scene a little bit later when I show you guys the court cards, but she did write that the Tower card was very important for her, or this depiction of the Tower card was very important for her, because her grandmother was actually held in the Topaz Japanese internment camp in here in the United States, and she was there from, and I want to confirm the date, 1942 to 1946. I'm reading my notes, guys, because I always have notes. And this Tower card is meant to portray that guard tower from Topaz. And as I know, I think Topaz is one of 10 Japanese internment camps that were unfortunately constructed here in the United States to hold all those Japanese people. Well, actually, not only Japanese people, Asian people, because apparently white people can't discern one Asian from the other. But as in any case, what also struck me about what Addie wrote was that while her grandmother was being held here in one of the internment camps, her grandfather was fighting for the U.S. during the war. And it's just so sad to hear that, because on one hand, we have this person fighting for their family at war, but then their family is being held against their will somewhere. I am very happy and glad that Addie was chose to share that part of her family history with us, especially in this Tower card, because this provides more life to her tarot, and it provides more meaning to her art as well. So I'm very grateful that Addie provided for us that story and that history as well. That reminder. Addie is American Japanese. But yeah, I mean, definitely appreciate this Tower card a whole lot more after reading the zine that was written for the tarot. So let's move on from the Tower and let's look at the luminaries, because these luminaries make me so happy. These giant women just remind me of Steven Universe and the song Giant Woman from the show. And it's just, they make me smile, they make me so happy, because we have these women be either the moon, the sun, or the star here, and I just very much enjoy that. This embodiment of the luminaries is very well done. I love the colors, and I love the feelings that I get from these cards. They are amazing. And I love that they sort of have the same thing of giant woman. And I'm really glad that Addie decided to paint these because these are beautiful. They really do show a different aspect of the luminaries that we rarely get to see, and I love that, love that, love that. But okay, so moving on. So I was talking about the zine, guys, remember? And so I did, the zine actually comes separately from the tarot. We do get a guidebook on the, well, Addie calls it a simple book, a simple guide for the tarot, but we basically, oh, let me show you. Let me show you before I show you, so that you guys have something to see. So here's a simple guide, but we only have, oh, here's a coin. So we only have a representation of the card on the left side, and then we have very simple keywords on this side as well. So, and we have an upright and reverse meanings, which is fine, but I would recommend that you guys get the zine, because you will find out not only what I said about the tarot, but the Tower card, but also that the pips follow, each one follows a storyline. And for the pips, we are also in different kingdoms and different histories and stories from those kingdoms. Like, for example, this is the Kingdom of Swords, and the Kingdom of Swords is meant to be the Chrysanthemum Kingdom. And each of the court cards represent a different animal, and actually a fruit in one of them, for one of them. But they're meant to be embodiments of that animal for the court cards. So we're basically being introduced to the characters of the story in the court cards. And then on the pips, from Ace to 10, we get a whole storyline where we get to interact with these characters. And I thought that was extremely original. It's been done before, but Addie made such an effort to create these stories and make a cohesive storyline throughout the pips that it was wonderful to read. But I wanted to show you the court cards and tell you what they were meant to represent. So this is a Page of Swords, and we're seeing here Sparrow or Suzume. We have the Knight of Swords as Kiji or the Pheasant. We have the Queen of Swords as Tsuru or Crane. And we have the very, 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 very handsome King of Swords. I love that hood with the winged accessory over here on top. It just looks so beautiful. But as in any case, he is meant to represent Karasu or Crow. And then we jump into the Bamboo Kingdom. And here we have Tanuki or Raccoon being represented by the Page of Wands. We have Shiro Inu or White Dog, represented the Knight of Wands. And oh my gosh, I love this Knight of Wands. He looks so powerful and so energetic and very sensual as he's approaching. It's like he's hunter, and you don't know that you're being preyed upon. I love the feeling of this Knight of Wands. And then here we have Kaguya Hime with one of her kitsune or fox companions. So the Queen of Wands is actually meant to represent Kaguya Hime, who is a very popular folkloric image in, actually folkloric story in Japanese mythology. But yes, so we are looking here at foxes. I love the giant fox. I mean, I love canines in general, but giant foxes, oh my god, yes. Hopefully someday. Hopefully someday. And here we have the King of Wands being represented by Okami or Wolf. Then we move on to the Coin Kingdom, and the coins are meant to represent Orchid or be the Orchid Kingdom. And here we have the Page of Coins as Shika or Deer. Saru or Monkey for the Knight of Coins. Here we have Usagi or Rabbit for the Queen of Coins. And here we have Uma or Horse for the King of Coins. And then finishing up with the cups, and the cups are meant to be the Plum Blossom Kingdom. And here we have Heavy or Snake for the Page of Cups. We have Momotaro, which is another very popular figure in Japanese mythology. And he is actually Peaches. He's meant to represent Peach as the Knight of Cups. And here we have the Queen of Cups representing Kingyo or Goldfish. And the very sexually attractive, again, Ari. She draws very sexually attractive men, very sensual men. And I'm here for this. I'm here for that. I mean, look at this man. Woo! So, did I say who he's meant to represent? He's Dragon or Ryu, the King of Cups. But yes, that is the quartz. So moving on, and I just want to finish up with some of the some of my final statements for the tarot and for the review. Here we have the Eight of Wands. I love this depiction of the Eight of Wands. I love when the wands go up. That is my preferred depiction of the Eight of Wands, because not only is the Eight of Wands a swift sort of energy, which we're getting here with this comet in the background, but it's also mastery of the self, and it makes so much sense for me when we have the wands pointing up to depict that self-care and self-development that you have when you use tools and when you have skills to better yourself. So it makes a lot more sense to me. It also makes sense to me that the Eight of Wands would be depicted by bamboo, because I love that, also that expansion that we rarely get to see for the Eight of Wands. When we have those arrows or the wands pointing down, it doesn't feel expansive to me. It feels that we're actually quite the opposite of what the Eight of Wands should represent. We're going down in our path instead of up. So maybe it's not a regression, but it's a sort of stagnation or a slow movement of energy. So that's why I prefer that. But I'm very happy with these with the Eight of Wands. But while we're looking at these cards over here, I do want to say that I am very happy that I have acquired this deck. I am most likely going to try to buy another one. Although I do take very good care of my decks, I want to use this deck. I keep using this deck for client readings. And so you guys can see here that we have Sparrow, but this is the bird Sparrow, not the embodiment of Sparrow in the pips. Oh, you're gonna see that throughout the whole deck. And the aces have the flower or plant being represented for the kingdom. So here we have the Ace of Wands, this is bamboo, and as you guys can see, there's fire in the background, and we have bamboo shoots here. So the meaning of the cards are not lost, and but it is so much richer when you read the scene and you find out about the story of the pips. It just makes it more fun, and it gives you a better idea of what this card is being represented or is being depicted on here. So yes, extremely happy about this tarot. I greatly recommend that if you guys are able to get a copy of this deck, to get it, because you will not regret having this deck in your collection. It is a fantastic reader, not only for clients but also for daily draws. I cannot say enough good things about this tarot. I am very, very happy to have it in my collection. You can see that sometimes the animals interact with each other on the story. So there's a whole storyline, guys. There's a whole storyline. So if you do get this tarot, please get the zine, the guidebook, the zine that Addie wrote. It'll make your readings and your experience with this deck far richer, more expansive, more developmental, and more understanding than usual. And yeah, let me know on the comments below, guys, what you think about the Botan Tarot, and if I have convinced you that this is a great tarot for your collection. Let me know also in the comments below if you have a favorite card from the Botan Tarot. I will be more than glad to have a conversation with you guys over there in the comments. But thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And bye bye, YouTube.